Falcherov Isteach, Gaji on Dahid Fui Gaihid Fiha Fiha Hian. I'm Marcin O'Millior. I'm the publisher of the Irish Echo. I'm here to welcome you to the 14th annual Irish 40 Under 40. This year brings the number to 560 wonderful Irish leaders from across America that we have honoured at the Irish Echo Awards. This is the end of a year like no other. It's the first time we've had to have a virtual awards, but we also thought it was really important that because travel between Ireland and America is effectively at a standstill, we thought we'd be the bridge tonight to make sure the awards came from Ireland, that I would MC from Belfast, no greater bridge to America than the city of Belfast. So I'm here to ensure that over the next 2 hours, I introduce you to some absolutely formidable young Irish-American leaders. I also want to introduce you to some special guests. And as you know, this is Black History Month, and we're going to have a special focus tonight on what one of our guests refers to as the new Black Irish. So to get us underway, a wonderful punk, rock, Celtic, Irish, folk, traditional band called the Blaggards, all the way from Austin, Texas. So let's count them in. Let's start with a really wonderful Texas, rip-roaring start to the Irish 40 Under 40. Let's hear it for the Blaggards.
And it's no, nay, never. No, nay, never, no more. I've been all over for many a year, and I spent all my money on paraffin and beer. Oh, now I'm returning with the golden red stone, and I never would play the wild road no more. And it's no, nay, never, no, nay, never, no more will I play the wild road. No, never, no more. I went out to Houston, for a place I'd frequent, and I told my friend Malcolm all my money is spent. Well, I asked him for credit, he said kindly go away. You're a dirty old hippie, and here's what we'll say. It's no, nay, never. No, nay, never, no more will I play the wild rover. No, never, no more. I dig out from my pockets the gold coins shining bright, and the landlady
Well done, the Blackguards. That's the version of No Nay Never they didn't teach me at school. So that's all the way from Austin, Texas. And it's been a really tough year for those who are involved in events and concerts and music, especially our Irish pubs have been shuttered and closed down. So we send big love to the Blackguards in Austin, Texas, and we hope to see them back on the concert circuit soon. And it's our job to support them when we do resume hearing from the great Irish bands across America. It's just after 11 p.m. here in Belfast. It's just after 6 p.m. in New York. We will be joined later from some of our friends from the left coast, Los Angeles and San Francisco. And then later again, we'll be joined by some friends from Hawaii. So we're going to span the whole breadth and length of America over the next couple of hours. We're very lucky that when the country locked down, we left one man in charge in Washington, D.C. That's Ambassador Dan Mulhall. And Ambassador Mulhall was the right man at the right place at the right time. He has served as Irish ambassador to Germany just after the Great Recession. He served as Irish ambassador to the UK just after the Brexit vote and during the Brexit vote. And then in 2017, he was posted to Washington, D.C., which was a very interesting place in 2017. Anyone who follows Ambassador Mulhall on Twitter will know that he's a very proud Waterford man. He's a wonderful speaker of Irish, to Scout na Gaeilge, and really he has a poetic heart. We're fortunate that despite the fact that we can't send any of our politicians to Washington, D.C. or America over St. Patrick's Day, we have one man there and one ambassador there who's probably, I'm allowed to say that this, he isn't, it's probably impolitic. He's probably doing a better job than all the politicians would do anyway. So we're grateful to Ambassador Mulhall, who sent us this message of support and solidarity, and congratulations for our Irish 40 under 40. Ambassador Dan Mulhall.
It is my honour and privilege as Ambassador of Ireland to be here this evening to pay tribute to, first of all, the organisers of this evening's event, the Irish Echo, but most important, the 40 Irish Americans under 40 who are being honoured this evening. In my time in the United States, stretching back now to 2017, I have been inspired more than anything else by the extraordinary phenomenon that is Irish America, by the presence throughout this country of so many people who have an affinity with Ireland, an affiliation with us, and an admiration for our country and its culture. This is a huge advantage to a country like ours because it increases our footprint here in the United States and around the world to have such a community, a global community that has a link and a heritage that's derived from Ireland. And a particular challenge we have at the moment is to ensure that coming generations in our rapidly changing world will continue to have this affection for Ireland that their ancestors had, their parents and grandparents had. That's why it's so important to recognise the many achievements of so many younger Irish Americans who have made their mark in many walks of American life. I think back to the fact that previous honorees under this programme have included John McCarthy, who is now a member of President Biden's team at the White House, of Congressman Brendan Boyle, who played a very important role in recent months in arguing strongly in favour of the retention of an open border on the island of Ireland, and indeed Assemblyman Gino Flaherty, who has been counsel to Mayor Marty Walsh, who now becomes the new Labour Secretary under the Biden administration. So all of these people demonstrate just how big a mark the Irish have made in the United States today. And I know that those we are honouring today will be equally successful as they develop their careers into the future. And we will look back at their achievements with pride and enthusiasm for what they've done, representing as they do the great tradition of Irish heritage here in the United States. So I wish everyone attending this great event a very enjoyable evening, and a special word of thanks and tribute to the 40 under 40 who join this evening, a very exclusive club of those who have been honoured in this way in the past. So, Gonna Míle Maith Galéir agus Ganari live.
Míle buíochas leat, Ambassador. Ambassador Mulhall has the solidarity, the warm greetings, the St. Patrick's Day salutations from Ireland and from Irish America. We know it won't be a lonely St. Patrick's Day in DC with you at the helm, so we wish you well in the green month and the St. Patrick's month that lies ahead. The comment section is open online. I see Andrea Hawhian from New York wishing everyone congratulations. I see Megan Quinn from Buffalo. I can't believe that Buffalo beat security and got into this event again tonight. Joan Herendine from Boston, congratulations Nicole. And of course Philadelphia, Alana Barry McCluskey says hello from Irish Philadelphia. Congratulations to all honorees, especially the Irish Chamber member Michael O'Rourke, who we'll hear from later. Our guest speaker tonight is Rachel Rowlands. Some of you may have caught her on Trial 4 on Netflix recently. And Rachel is a lady of great talent, great energy, great vitality, great agency. And she is the first woman district attorney for Suffolk County in Massachusetts. She's also the first person of colour to hold the position of district attorney there. Her father, as she will explain, is Irish American. Her mother is from the Caribbean. And Rachel really, I think, for us encapsulates the spirit coming out of the capital of Irish America, which is Boston, where the Irish are determined to push forward and have been really to the fore and helping people through the pandemic. So we were honoured that Rachel Rowlands was happy to be our guest speaker tonight for the 14th annual Irish 40 Under 40. So the only leaves me to welcome Rachel Rowlands, who sent us this message, recorded it earlier and sent it on to us. So Rachel Rowlands, District Attorney, Suffolk County, Massachusetts, you're very welcome.
Hello everyone, my name is Rachel Rowlands and I am the Suffolk County District Attorney. That's the Chief Law Enforcement Officer in the Massachusetts County, which includes Boston. I am so humbled to be with you today, even if only virtually. I had the absolute immense honor of visiting Ireland before this global pandemic and was able to experience the beauty of our ancestral land and the generosity of the Irish people. It was a deeply personal trip for me as the daughter and granddaughter of an Irish immigrant, and I was even able to connect with family I'd never met before. And yes, Boston is my home and where my heart is, but I am deeply committed also to Ireland and my mother's homeland of Barbados. I'm the proud descendant of immigrants and am forever shaped by the sacrifice and example of my parents and grandparents. They instilled in our family a profound commitment to community, a belief that we have a duty to ensure that we leave the world better than we found it. They are one of the many, many reasons why I answered the call to serve Suffolk County as its district attorney. And they've inspired me to live my life always striving for inclusivity and equity, justice and equality, empathy and compassion. Now, my parents met shortly after the United States Supreme Court issued its decision in Loving versus Virginia, which invalidated laws that prohibited interracial marriage. At the time, my father was a Vietnam War veteran and had just come home and was living with his family on Ethel Street in Roslindale, a neighborhood in Boston. My mother was a nursing student at Boston University. They married and ended up settling in the Dorchester section of Boston, surrounded by many other immigrants from around the world. Now, in 1969, my parents' relationship was radical, but their marriage was not a rebellion. It was a recognition of their love and that they wanted to make each other better and wanted to build a family that made their community better too. That commitment to community has always been a driving force in my professional career. So I ran for DA because I wanted to change a system that was created by and for people who don't look like me, but unfortunately with people who look like me directly in mind. As many of you know, the United States has a history of exploiting and oppressing immigrants. The Irish were discriminated against, and now we find other immigrants, many of them black and brown, finding themselves oppressed. In the United States, Black Lives Matter may be a relatively new phrase, but it is not a new movement. It is the result of exasperation with the status quo. It is a rejection of the idea that this is the best we can do as America, and it is the belief and knowledge that we as Black people are more than enough. When I decided to run for district attorney, I could see the unrest and tension in many poor Black and brown communities. I could feel the mistrust and fear of law enforcement. I saw how poor people and communities of color were disproportionately impacted by our criminal legal system here in the United States. I saw how we were criminalizing poverty, substance use, mental illness, and food and housing insecurity. And I knew more than many how powerful prosecutors were in the criminal legal system, and that we as prosecutors could help change that system and the narrative. So I decided to make it part of my story. Changing a system that has evolved from slavery to Jim Crow to mass incarceration is a monumental task, but I like to say that if you have a hard job, trust a woman to get it done. I am incredibly proud of my Irish roots, and I am incredibly proud of my Bayesian roots. And I stand here today talking to you as a strong woman, a strong Irish woman, and a strong Black woman. And I stand here because of all of the fierce and fearless women who came before me. Alice Walker once wrote that the most common way people give up their power is by thinking they don't have any. Women of color continually show up for this country and win, despite unfortunately being overlooked, used, or pushed out. I am in awe of the Black suffragettes who fought for the 19th Amendment only to be left out of its protection. I am in awe of my sisters in the 1960s struggle for civil rights, who fought alongside their male counterparts for a movement that continuously relegated them to the background. Women of color, and Black women in particular, fight not just for themselves, but for their families, communities, and democracy, with a steadfast focus on justice and equity. That is still true today. Many Black women are leading the fight for criminal justice reform in the United States of America, and we are attempting to change a system that has continuously and traditionally rejected our input and devalued or ignored our stories. So today I stand with my sisters in justice, not just me in Boston, but from St. Louis to Baltimore, Maryland, from Cook County, Illinois to Portsmouth, Virginia, to take on a system that adversely impacts people who look like us and is nearly void of any women or women of color in leadership positions. We need to fill the roles of chief judge to district attorney, commissioners and chiefs of police to United States attorneys, sheriffs to attorney generals. We need more women and more women of color in these powerful and often autonomous roles. It is not a coincidence that many of the district attorneys demanding, fighting for, and implementing change across the United States are Black women. Because the moment we find ourselves in this country is our civil rights movement of this time, and we are an integral part of this generation's freedom fighter movement. The fight for justice, equity, and inclusion is a universal one, and one that will take collective action and commitment to be successful. My parents taught me that I have the duty to fight for my community. It's a lesson I've passed on to my daughter and nieces. It's a lesson that guides my work as district attorney. I know my community extends beyond Boston. It extends beyond Massachusetts and even beyond the United States. My community includes every person who's interested in fighting for a better tomorrow. It includes every person who is fighting for justice and equity. The immigrant story is shared by millions of Irish, many of whom left Ireland to escape oppression and find a better life like my grandparents did. The old stories and memories of home have been passed down through generations, and I am proud to join you in honoring that heritage today and the shared success of the diaspora. No matter my title, my profession, my country, or my zip code, I will always remember that my story is ensuring that our story is better than the ones that our grandparents and parents told, that my daughter and her daughter will do just the same. Each generation will move us closer and closer to the best generation of ourselves. At least that's my hope. So today, I want to thank you for your wonderful service. I'm so proud of this honor that you have received. Go forth and do big and wonderful things. I can't wait to see what new and great accomplishments each of you have. Be well.
District Attorney Rowlands, the first woman to serve as District Attorney in Suffolk County, which of course includes Boston, the first woman of colour to serve in that position as well. Now, just one small correction. I may have, in a clerical error, referred to Boston as the capital of Irish America. As you all know, the capital of Irish America is San Francisco. In fact, my notes said Chicago. Or it might be New York. We will find out before the end of the show. Some more messages coming in. Maura Kelly from Purple Mountain Media. Maura, great to hear from you all the way over there in New York. Lively start to the programme. Our dear friend James O'Hara, who I haven't seen in a long time in Connecticut, who is a member of the General Philip Sheridan AOH division there. Great to hear from you again, James. And Soraya, congratulations to Roisin Kameen, who we'll talk to in a minute, for all the work she's done to support the New York studio of Irish Step Dance. So well done. So look, let's talk to some of these wonderful award winners under 40. Some of the cream of Irish America, the best of the best. We also, between now and later on tonight, wherever you are, it's 20 past 11 here, so between now and 1 o'clock in the morning, where you are before 8 o'clock, we're going to talk to 40 of the best that Irish America has to offer. We will have special awards as well, but I want to introduce our first group of honorees, and they are a wonderfully talented bunch. Ciara Archer, all the way from Arizona. Ciara, great to see you. Conor Begley. And Conor, your collar wasn't fixed, it's fixed now. Thank goodness. A man who was on the stage needs to have his collar fixed at all times. Michael Collins, what a great name, from Chicago. Good to see you. And then Roisin the dancer. Good to see you as well. Thank you for joining us, and you were waiting very patiently there. And that's an Italian flag behind you, Ciara, is it? Okay.
No, Irish flag.
Good for you. Well, look, let's talk to you first, because I think you're the youngest ever operations director of the Arizona Irish Cultural Centre, and of course the wonderful McClelland Library, because Norman McClelland, of course, his roots were in the county down near us. How are you coping with this burden of being the youngest operations director during the worst pandemic in our lifetime?
Well, I started the week before the world stopped turning, so it's just been a lot of learning since then, but I have great mentors, our president, Leslie Thompson, Mary Moriarty, great supporters here in the community. So it's been a real treat, and I'm honored to work with some of the best people and serve the Arizona Irish community.
Well, look, thank you. And we really love having the Arizona Irish Cultural Centre part of our operations. And we know you're going to have a virtual St. Patrick's Day this year. Is that correct? You're going to keep the spirit alive?
We are.
Okay.
March 13th. Everybody tune in.
Well done. Well, thank you, Ciara. Conor Begley, you're a stalwart of the Irish American artists and writers, but you've also you've been on the stage once or twice as well. Tell us a little bit how the artists surviving during this bleak darkness of the pandemic, especially theatre, Conor. And Conor's on mute. Conor, you're on mute. Good man.
I'm on mute.
Good, go
there
for
we
it.
go.
Tell us how the theatre's surviving and artists are surviving.
I mean, for theater artists in particular, it's been really, really hard. There's no other way to put it. Obviously, our stages closed on March 12th, and we haven't, been able to get back for the most part. But there's been a lot of great work that's been developed through virtual theater. We've created new mediums. People are creating new worlds with design, and just there's really I think when we get back to live theater, we're going to have a lot more tools at our disposal because of the versatility of all the artists who have been making things happen for people for a year, despite tremendous odds. So I'm really inspired by what people have been able to do, but I can't tell you how hard it's been for so many people, I have to tell you.
Well, look, Conor, congratulations, and we will be looking to our artists to lead us out of this recovery. You've really kept our spirits up during this 12 months of bleakness, but we'll be looking to you and to artists to spearhead the recovery. I want to go to Chicago, Illinois, and Michael Collins. Michael, you've been to Belfast. Tell us what you were doing here.
Yeah, I have actually. That's kind of how my journey in nonprofit started. I worked originally as an intern with Ocean Youth Trust Ireland, which is now Atlantic Youth Trust Ireland. So it's a lovely city you have over there.
And tell me what you're doing with the Irish Community Services in Chicago now.
So I'm the executive director, but we have, for the past year, as many Irish support organizations have been doing, is responding to the changing needs of the community in regards to COVID. So a lot of the centers have been running food banks. A lot of the centers have been, running emergency support programs, folks who wouldn't be eligible for emergency forms of relief. And then, of course, we're actually launching this month a campaign around mental and physical wellness called Mind Yourself March. The pandemic has taken a toll on everyone, really. But we just wanted to raise awareness for those issues and make sure that the community has the resources they need in order to deal with the side effects of the COVID-19 pandemic.
Well, we'll keep up the good work, Michael, and great to have Chicago represented alongside Arizona and New York. But Roisin, we have snow falling here in the background, and that's probably for you more than anyone else because you spend some time in the Arctic. And tell us which one's the Arctic. Is it the top of which one's the Arctic? Which one's Antarctica?
The top. I have not made it to Antarctica yet. Got to 500 feet above the glaciers, but not any lower.
So what brings you to the Arctic?
I guess I do a lot of air quality research, and a lot of what we emit down here gets dumped into the Arctic over the year. So we do a lot of air quality monitoring and then look at how permafrost is thawing and how the CO2 and methane is getting into the atmosphere. So it's kind of a link between biogeochemistry and just like to be flying on airplanes, and it's a nice way to measure things.
Well, I'm glad to see there's an Irish woman at the forefront of saving the world, but where do you get the time to dance then as well?
Not as much as I'd like anyway, but it's a really great way to get some exercise. It's an adult Irish dance school, so it's more of a fitness class, and it's a really great community. When I moved to New York, I didn't know anyone. So it's been a really great way to meet people, and I'd highly recommend it if anybody's in New York and looking to do something once all this is over. Well,
look, Roisin, congratulations and good luck in the time ahead. Save the planet. Ciara, Michael, Conor, thank you all for being part of the Irish 40 Under 40. Thank you. We're going to hear from another friend of ours now, and as we say cheerio to our first four honorees. And it's a dear friend of ours now in DC. We really are travelling all around the place. Dennis Brownlee is the co-founder of the African American Irish Diaspora Network. And it was set up this time last year by Kieran Madden, the Consul General of Ireland in New York. And its job is to ensure that the true diversity of Irish America is evidenced in everything we do. So Dennis recorded a little message for us earlier this week, and he also will tell us who is the recipient of our first a special award tonight, which is the Irish America for All Award. So let's hear from our dear friend Dennis Brownlee in DC.
Good afternoon and good evening to all of you who are with us today from various parts of the country for this wonderful 14th annual Irish Echo 40 Under 40 Awards event. I'm Dennis Brownlee, the founder and president of the African American Irish Diaspora Network, and I'm honored to have been asked to be part of this event to share with you a little about the African American Irish Diaspora Network and to announce the winner of this year's Irish America for All Award. The mission of AAIDN is to foster relationships between African Americans and Ireland through shared heritage and culture. It is estimated that roughly a third of African Americans have some Irish ancestry, and AAIDN's mission is to build a community through which Irish and African Americans can connect not only through that ancestry, but also via culture, spirit, and other affinities. The official launch of the organization took place exactly 1 year ago today, on February 26th, at an event hosted by Consul General of Ireland in New York, Kieran Madden, at his residence. So this is a momentous date for us, and we are delighted to be able to join you in celebration today. The goals of AAIDN align with Ireland's global diaspora policy, and AAIDN is collaborating with the Department of Foreign Affairs and the Embassy in Washington to help achieve those goals, developing our organization in the strategic areas of travel to Ireland, education, entrepreneurship, ancestry, and community. The first initiatives of the network have focused on commemorating the 175th anniversary of Frederick Douglass's historic visit to Ireland in 1845. It is significant that the celebration and commemoration of Frederick Douglass and the mission of freedom and social justice that he shared with Daniel O'Connell has taken place over the past year, in which we have seen a tidal wave of increasing demand for social justice and civil rights for all people throughout the world. As we look at events unfolding today, we can see the continued importance of the historic relationship between Ireland and the millions of people who make up its diverse global diaspora, the multiracial society that increasingly characterizes Ireland, and the important leadership role that Ireland occupies in the world as such. It was in Dublin a little more than a year ago that I had the opportunity to tour the Epic Museum of Irish Immigration. There's a neon sign overhead when you enter the museum that says, "We all come from somewhere." As you leave the museum, there's another sign that provides the explanation of the museum's acronym, EPIC. Every person is connected. It is our hope that through this endeavor of AAIDN, we can promote a better understanding of who we are, of where we come from, that we are all indeed connected, and in the spirit of Frederick Douglass and Daniel O'Connell, work together for progress, peace, and equality in our society. It is in this light that I am pleased to formally announce this year's winner of the 40 Under 40 Award, Kekoa McClellan. He is the principal of the McClellan Group, and with more than 15 years of experience already in his young life in Hawaii politics and business, he has launched more than 60 political campaigns and 4 small businesses in Hawaii. He is recognized as one of Hawaii's young business leaders, having been awarded the coveted Pacific Business News' 40 Under 40 and having received the Outstanding Young Person Award from the Chamber of Commerce. Kekoa has served on numerous community and corporate boards, is a graduate of the Kamehameha Schools, holds a Bachelor of Arts in Political Science from Hawaii Pacific University, and earned an executive MBA from the Shidler College of Business at the University of Hawaii at Manoa. His wife, Makana, is the Physician and Community Relations Officer at Shriners Hospital for Children, Honolulu, and together they have 3 children. Kekoa is also a senior member of the Society of the Friends of St. Patrick in Hawaii. We offer our sincere and hearty congratulations to Kekoa McClellan as the winner of this year's Irish America for All Award.
Thank you, Dennis Brownlee. We wish you well with the African American Irish Diaspora Network. It's my great pleasure now to go 11,000 miles west and say aloha to Kekoa McClellan. Kekoa, thank you for being with us today. I'm not sure just what time it is there. It's probably just after noon.
Aloha. Thank you so much for having us, and thank you so much for this wonderful honor and this wonderful award. And you're right, it's about 1:35 p.m. and I've got all the blinds shut so that the Hawaiian sun doesn't disrupt our engagement this afternoon.
Well, let me tell you, Kekoa, that when we said that we had to send your certificate to you, there were many people in the New York office who volunteered to deliver it personally to Oahu. They weren't able, but tell us about this what you refer to as your blended heritage and this Native Hawaiian and Scots-Irish and all this different mix in Hawaii and the importance of that to you.
I think you hit it right on the head, and I do take some a point of contention with you about where the home of Irish Americans are in the country. We're the only ones in Hawaii that actually live on a real island, right? So I would say that we Irish Hawaiians are unique in that perspective. We really are an island people, and the Irish diaspora to me is special because it's part of what you might say is a rainbow of selections that my kupuna, my ancestors shared with me, whether it's Portuguese, Hawaiian, Scottish, and Irish. It's really fun being from Hawaii, where we really are a melting pot, not just because we're all together, but because we have the good fortune of, in many cases, having ancestors that came from all around the world. And one thing we know is that we're all just trying to make life work for ourselves and for the communities that we care about and the people that we love. And so for my wife and I, our kids are our focus. And That introduction was very flattering. It was an honor to be introduced by such a prestigious individual, and thank you so much, my friend, for allowing us to participate in this event. And to all of my Irish brothers and sisters out there, when you're in Hawaii, give me a call. We'll make sure you have a great time.
Well, Kakoa, as we say here, Gurumaihagat, thank you, mahalo. You're really very gracious for giving us your time today. We want to see you and some of your friends in the Society of St. Patrick, our dear friend Brad Carey there on Big Island. We want to make sure we bring you to Ireland when it's safe again to travel. But thank you for being part of our programme from Hawaii, and you're a wonderful recipient of the first Irish America for All award. So mahalo, thank you.
Mahalo and aloha.
Aloha. Thank you. And it's wonderful to over recent times we've been able to involve the wonderful Society of St. Patrick in Hawaii and all the Irish Echo activities, and that's in large part because of a young man called Brad Carey on Big Island, and he's going to have a message for us shortly. So we actually have two messages, and we're going to continue the theme of Black History Month with a message about Frederick Douglass, and we're awfully proud in Belfast, awfully proud to have a connection with Frederick Douglass, and very proud of our friend Christine Keneally, Professor Christine Keneally in Connecticut, who has been the author of the definitive work on Frederick Douglass's work in Ireland. So I want to hear from Brad Carey and another special guest talking about Frederick Douglass. So are we going to do those videos now, folks? Okay, over to the videos.
Aloha kako. Like Ireland, Hawaii is a small island community. What all island communities need are leaders that are willing to tackle tough and evolving challenges inherent to island life. Keikoa is absolutely such a leader, from his work on preterm birth campaigns to creating alternative energy solutions. Keikoa is a blessing to our community. He possesses the Irish gift of persuasive storytelling and the Irish virtues of taking care of the poor and underserved. Sláinte and congratulations, Keikoa.
Congratulations to the Irish Echo for successfully holding this year's 40 Under 40 Awards. The COVID pandemic has changed all of our lives in the last year, and it's a credit to the Echo that it has succeeded in ensuring that the 40 Under 40 is going ahead. Congratulations to all of the honorees, and to Rachel Rowlands, your guest speaker, who is the District Attorney of Suffolk County, the first woman of colour to hold that position. Rachel's father is an Irish American, and she describes herself as the new Black Irish. There are many US citizens of colour proud of their personal connections to Ireland. There are also many political and historical connections. In the 1960s, the civil rights movement in Ireland was proud of its association with the civil rights movement in the USA. Nationalists who lived here in the apartheid state recognised the common humanity and common purpose of our two movements as we each campaigned for equality and for human and civil rights. Irish republicanism has a long and proud tradition of opposition to inequality and injustice and against slavery and colonialism. Frederick Douglass. Frederick was an escaped slave, and when he came here to Ireland on the run, he was warmly received when he spoke about his experience. He gave his first lecture in this country in Dublin in September 1845. And he travelled to Wexford, to Waterford, to Cork, to Limerick, and to Belfast. He returned to Belfast another 4 times. And he was so inspired, and he so inspired those who heard him speak, that when he left Belfast in January 1846, he left behind a ladies' anti-slavery society. And one of its founding members was Mary Ann McCracken. Ireland, in his own words, was transformative for Douglass. He said of his time here that he had become a man rather than a chattel. In Ireland, he also came to see the issue of slavery not in isolation, but as part of a global campaign for equality and social justice. He wrote, "I see much here to remind me of my former condition, and I confess I should be ashamed to lift my voice against American slavery, but that I know the cause of humanity is one the world over. He who really and truly feels for the American slave cannot steel his heart to the woes of others." Frederick Douglass's journey continues to inspire people in the USA and here in Ireland. In July 2019, the Mayor of Belfast, John Finucane, unveiled the portrait of Frederick Douglass in the City Hall, which he put on display in the Mayor's parlour. And his close association is a matter of great pride to those of us who come from Belfast City. Plans are advanced to erect a statue to him. Frederick Douglass's Irish journey is a part of our shared history that needs to be told and retold.
Thank you, Brad Carey, and thank you, Gerry Adams, who, of course, is a columnist for the Irish Echo as well. Some messages in for Brendan Costello. Hooray for Conor Begley, who we saw earlier on, the Irish-American writers and artists. And Emma Stanton says, congrats to all the honorees, especially to Paul Stanton. We're so proud of you. There may be a bit of nepotism there, Emma. And Mary Moriarty says, congratulations to our Kira Archer from Arizona, who we heard from earlier. Four more of our wonderful honorees are Shauna Conway, Mark Costello, Michelle Crowley and Thomas Dalton. Shauna, you're in Cleveland, Ohio. I'm going to turn around here. You might appear here now if I behave myself. There, Shauna, tell me this. You pulled on the green jersey in hockey for Ireland. How the hell did you do that?
How did I put the jersey on, or how did I find my way to the Irish women's ice hockey team?
The latter.
You know what? It was timing and luck, which most of my life hasn't worked out, but in this instance, it did. I had moved to Galway to pursue a master's. I have a passport, an Irish passport, and at the same time, Irish ice hockey, at least in the South, was beginning. So I just got lucky. I got hooked up with people that were in the know, and I was in the right place at the right time.
Well, look, congratulations and thank you for being with us. Mark Costello in New Jersey, you work in construction, but you've trod the boards. You've been a bit of an actor as well. Tell us about that.
Well, as a child in grammar school, our Catholic school choir was asked to try out for a Broadway show, and we were lucky enough to make the second callback and stayed 6 months on a Broadway show, Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. It was a great experience. My mother was able to share in that experience with me as a chaperone. So we were in the Actors Guild, got paid every week, which was for a sixth grader, $50 a week is a lot of money to spend. So I spent it very, very well. And, I had a good time doing it.
Well, I'm not going to ask which is more difficult, acting or being in the building trade, but I wish you well in both, and congratulations. Michelle Crowley is up in Cincinnati, and it breaks our heart that the Irish Heritage Centre of Cincinnati, which is one of the most glorious Irish centres in all of America, a full city block, is still closed. So what's the prospects of getting the centre back up and running, perhaps by the summer, Michelle?
We really hope that we can get things up and running. We do have a St. Patrick's Day celebration coming up, and just slowly but surely, we're starting to come back to life.
Well, will you please give our warm regards to everyone at the Irish Centre in Cincinnati? I'm on an invite, which I haven't been able to enjoy or exercise or execute over the last year, but congratulations for your honour. We're going to Los Angeles. Thomas Dalton is out on the West Coast working for TikTok, where all the social media companies are there, either in Dublin or they're on the West Coast. Thomas, but you also are the proud recipient of a Garda Síochána Medal of Honour many moons ago. Tell us about that.
Yeah, good, Martin. I think, that's going back a while. We were coming back from a dinner dance in Longford town, and we drove back and we seen a very strange character standing, looking very suspicious. And funny enough, he was actually there to detail a property in our neighborhood. And we just happened to be in the right time at in a way, the wrong place at the right time to catch this individual. And before he made further damage to a second property. So anyway, that's going back about 15 years now. Just kind of yeah.
Let me give you a bit of advice. It was 2004, but it doesn't matter. Every time you're in a conversation with someone, bring the conversation round to the fact that you're a recipient of a Garda Medal of Honour in all cases. So Thomas, thank you for being with us on the West Coast. Shauna, just to finish, you do know there's only one city in which they play ice hockey in Ireland, and you know which city that is?
Yes, I do know what you're going to say, Belfast and Dundonald specifically. But no, I swear to you, there was an ice rink in Dundalk for several years, and at the height of the recession, it closed. But my friends are still tirelessly working to have it reopened. So fingers crossed.
Well, we hope to see you at the next, when the Giants, they'll probably be back this September. They'll probably miss 2 seasons. But good to see you. Mark, Thomas out in LA, Michelle in the wonderful city of Cincinnati. Shauna, thank you for being with us tonight. Good luck, folks. Slán go fóill. Gurmaigh. We've a short video from our dear friends in the Ancient Order of Hibernians, who are sponsors tonight, along with Aer Lingus, the Irish-American Partnership in Boston, which was previously the capital of Irish America. It's just changed, as you know, as the programme goes on. Benchmark Strategies, also in Boston. Calico in New York, the NI Bureau as well. Here's a message from our friends in the AOH. Well, you may have noticed that the Ancient Order of Hibernians are partners with the ECHO in a petition online at change.org asking President Biden to appoint an energetic, talented special envoy to Northern Ireland swiftly. It's a post which we think really needs to be filled, because anytime the US has appointed a talented special envoy to this part of the world has made a real positive difference. So if you have a few minutes later on, you go online and sign that petition at change.org to ask President Biden to make that appointment. You know, and St. Patrick's Day is a good time for these things, as he well knows. So maybe we'll get the special envoy. Let's go to the president of the AOH, Danny O'Connell. He's going to tell us who the recipient of the Community Champion Award is.
We are so very proud of each and every one of you, the members of this year's class of the Irish Echo's Top 40 Under 40 Irish Americans. You have all been selected because you chose to embrace your Irish heritage. Irish America has always had a voice. This voice of Irish America has been crucial throughout our history, from pre-colonial times right up until this very moment. Today, we call on each and every one of you to continue to embrace your Irish heritage and to be an active part of the voice of Irish America today and into the future. Congratulations to each of you. Being part of this class is no small feat. I'm Danny O'Connell, President of the Ancient Order of Hibernians in America. We, the Hibernians, are extremely excited to once again present the Community Champion Award to a member of this year's class. This year's Community Champion recipient learned to communicate effectively with people from all walks of life during his very first job when he became a lifeguard for the New York State Department of Parks, Recreation, and Historic Preservation. His communication skills, combined with his understanding and belief that the good Lord gave us 2 eyes, 2 ears, and 1 mouth so we could watch, listen, and learn more than we speak, has prepared Kevin Byrne for success in his role today as a member of Assembly for New York's 94th Assembly District. Kevin embraces his Irish heritage by keeping in touch with his family members in Galway, Ireland. He has demonstrated leadership in every walk of life, from his time as a lifeguard, an Eagle Scout, and now a member of the New York Assembly. Kevin is also a founding member of the Stephen P. Driscoll Memorial Pipe Band. That's right, Kevin is an elite musician, a piper. Congratulations to Kevin Byrne, his wife Brianna, and his son Braden. You and your family are the 2021 Irish Echo 40 Under 40 Community Champions. Thank you, and God bless all of you.
Assemblyman Byrne, welcome. It's great to see you at the Irish Echo 40 Under 40. Congratulations. That was quite a commendation. That was quite a commendation there from our dear friend Danny O'Connell. I don't think did he mention you're also a member of the Ancient Order of Hibernians? Of course, did he mention that on the way through or not?
Oh no, I'm a member of many organizations, the Emeralds, the Friendly Sons of St. Patrick, but I'm actually not a member of the AOH. Okay. Although I've supported them many times over the years and as a volunteer.
Good for you. Listen, I think it's fair to say the most active group of Irish American legislators in all the US is in Albany. So I hope you're putting your shoulder to the wheel there with your colleagues, Senator Kennedy, Assemblyman Fitzpatrick, our dear friend, the President, Mike Cusick. I hope they're not keeping you out of all the fun activities like coming to Ireland.
They're a great bunch of people. We got a lot of good lawmakers up in Albany and the American Irish legislators, and we do a fundraiser up in Albany every year. I actually play the Highland bagpipes at that. We've had a lot of fun, and we raise money, and we actually have been able to support a lot of various local groups that support Irish heritage and culture here in New York State with the dollars that we raise. So, but they're a lot of fun.
Good for you. Look, and I know all our parades are cancelled again, second year in a row, but I think occasionally I see Irish pipers being asked to play alone. It is possible to social distance when you're playing the pipes. Will you get any opportunity over St. Patrick's Day to play the pipes?
I hope so. This past year, since I was stuck at home like everybody else for so long, the Highland pipes are pretty loud, in case you didn't know. So I bought a set of small pipes. They're actually like a Brian Boru set. So it's a little unique, and they're bellow blown, so they're better for indoors. So that way, when I play, the wife doesn't want to, wring my neck. But it's a lot of fun, and I get to play a lot just to de-stress, and it's a hobby that I greatly enjoy.
Well, look, it's absolutely wonderful to have another friend of Ireland in Albany. We wish you well in your political career. The next time the legislators come to Ireland, they always come to Belfast. Please bring the smaller set of pipes. That'll do us fine. Bring the smaller set of pipes with you, and we'd love to hear those played in Belfast. So again, Assemblyman Byrne, congratulations, and thank you for being part of this event tonight.
It's my pleasure. It's a great honor, and thank you to the AOH, the Irish Echo, and to all of our fellow honorees. It truly is a tremendous honor, and I am very grateful.
Thank you. Good luck. Keep the faith. Good luck. Thank you, Assemblyman Byrne. We're going to move on, folks, and rattle through to our next group of honorees, I do believe. And that is Jennifer Flynn from North Merrick, New York, Ryan Griff from New Jersey, Liam Garvey of Boston. And I think we're going to hear from them shortly. Can I read some messages here first? There's a Patrick S. Miller who has a message about the American Irish Historical Society, which we'll hear about more later on. Margaret Mullen says, congrats, Ryan Griff. What a terrific young achiever. I think he's on right now. I think that's planted, so it is, Ryan. There's one on there. And Assemblyman Michael Fitzpatrick, congratulations, Kevin. You're one of the best. It's always wonderful to hear from Assemblyman Fitzpatrick out on Long Island. So, look, here's our next group of honorees, Ryan, Liam and Jennifer. Jennifer, we're going to start with you first because we noticed that a professional like yourself, the first person to put a message on the message board tonight was about Con Ed, about Con Edison. And you're a diversity officer for Con Edison. Wonderful, you're wearing your green tonight as well. Tell me, is that's a very busy post, I take it, in this modern world, being a diversity officer for a huge organisation like Con Ed?
This year, hi. Thanks for having me. This year in particular has been very busy on the diversity and inclusion front. Continually having courageous conversations as to why diversity and inclusion is important, why equity is important, and why it's important to have respect for everyone. So this year, including working in a utility during a pandemic, racial inequality and racial injustice was up there as one of our main priorities. We were definitely busy this year.
Well, look, and congratulations, but also thank you for all the hard work you do. I know that you've had terrible storms recently in America, and I'm sure your colleagues have been out and about trying to ensure that when the power goes down, it's turned on immediately. So thank you, Jennifer, for being part of this. I want to go to Ryan in New Jersey. Ryan, you're involved in the small business community, so I think you know a thing or two about the impact of the pandemic as well. So let's give us an idea about how the small business community is rallying and how's it going to come back. And I have some friends who have restaurants in New Jersey, our great friend Francis Schott in New Brunswick. So how are things for the small business community?
Sure. So the small business community is growing steadily. Of course, there were very tremendously negative impacts because of the pandemic, but there are a lot of great resources now out for the small business community in the form of grants, loans. Where I come from, the New Jersey Small Business Development Center at Ramapo College, we have a very strong economic recovery task force initiative and a strong regional director, Vincent Vicari, and his assistant, Kathleen Cronin. So as more resources become available for small businesses, they will grow and develop, and we hopefully will return to normal very soon.
Well, look, and give our warm regards to Kathleen in particular, who's a great support of everything we do, and we wish you well in trying to build up and support small business in the time ahead. We're going to go to the former capital of Irish America in Boston to talk to Liam Garvey. Liam, please give our regards to the Mayor of Boston. He would be speaking here, but it's been so long ago we heard he was going to be made the Secretary for Labour. We presumed by now he'd be elevated and would have no time for us, but Marty Walsh is still the Mayor of Boston when I last looked, so please give him our warm regards when you see him. But Liam, you've an unusual middle name in your family. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so my middle name is Patrick, which coincidentally is my two brothers' middle name as well. My parents aren't really known for their originalities, so I think once they had one good name, they just stuck with that. So we're Liam Patrick, Dylan Patrick, and Connor Patrick.
Well, look, tell me quickly, we had a lady on earlier on who goes to the Arctic to study the pollution in the air there. You're also involved in the Environmental League of Massachusetts, so would she be a colleague of yours in some way?
Very distantly. We focus on environmental policy here in Massachusetts and really trying to get Massachusetts to lead the way in equitable environmental policy, which really is so desperately needed. I think the pandemic has really exacerbated and shown the people most affected by that. So we're doing our best here out in Massachusetts.
Well, good luck, and I hope you lead the way in Massachusetts. So Liam, Ryan in New Jersey, and Jennifer in particular, stay safe in New York. Thank you for being with us to the three of you, and good luck and congratulations again. We have a message from Colm Flynn. So some people sent us in messages. So let's see this message. Say cheerio to our three honorees, and let's see this message from our dear friend Colm Flynn.
Hello friends, I hope you're all well, and I'm so sorry I can't be there with you tonight, even virtually. As you can see, I'm not in New York City at the moment. I'm standing here in front of St. Peter's Basilica, in front of St. Peter's Square. I'm outside the Vatican in the beautiful eternal city of Rome. But I just want to come on here for a moment and say a huge thank you to all of you, to the Irish Echo, for this incredible award, the Irish 40 Under 40. This is amazing. I'm going to get this framed and I'll have it up on the wall. And when I was told that I was getting this great honor, this award, two things struck me. Number one was they must have been stuck because they picked me. And number two was 40 Under 40. I'm getting old. But seriously, it is a great honor to get this. And it has been such a privilege for me to help bring the Irish stories back to Ireland on RTE, on BBC, or whatever channel it was over the past couple of years. I have loved being part of the Irish American community. There really is nothing like it. And particularly over the course of the pandemic, when New York was the global epicenter of the virus, it was such an honour to be able to bring those stories, you can hear the bells of St. Peter's Basilica behind me, to bring those stories of the Irish and how they were getting through those terribly dark months at the height of the virus back to family and friends in Ireland. And I think it was a testament to how caring and how kind the Irish community were being to each other that the programmes received such great praise and viewership back home in Ireland. And I know it was reassuring for the parents and the cousins and the brothers and the sisters to see that the Irish community, despite how hard it was, were all getting through it together. So again, thank you, and well done to all the other recipients, I'm sure much more deserving than me, which wouldn't be hard. And a huge thanks to the Irish Echo as well. They've always been a great supporter. I've always enjoyed meeting them and doing articles with them. And I hope everyone has a great night. Have a drink for me, and thank you very much.
Liam, ELM won the lottery the day you decided to join us. You have been a smart, efficient, strategic member of our team, and we are so proud of you. Congratulations on your 40 Under 40 award. It is so well deserved.
Congratulations, Liam.
Well, welcome, Erin Connolly. With a name like Erin Connolly, do people sometimes think you might be a little bit Irish?
They always know right away. I'm definitely Irish.
So you'll be pleased before you come on. There was messages coming in here from Connecticut wishing you well, and from some of your many fans. But you've been working. You've just done the news bulletin.
I did. I just got off the news at 6:30. I was on since 4 o'clock. It's been a busy year, to say the very least, with the pandemic. But there's nothing I'd rather be doing than informing everyone and trying to give everyone a little laugh, if I can, every newscast as well.
Well, congratulations on winning the Irish Heritage Award. I know your Irish Heritage is very important, but it's also very important the work that journalists are carrying out during the pandemic. Are people, do you think, grateful for that, respectful to journalists? You're an essential business, you're out there every day. How have you been received by people who, and there's a lot of confusion out there, a lot of fear, how has your work been appreciated, do you feel, as a journalist over the last year?
I think it has been appreciated so much, because now more than ever, people feel hopeless and they have a lot of questions and they're looking for answers. And we've said it from the beginning that we are all in this together, and we really mean that. We are in this together, and we're here to get you answers, and we're here to explain more about what's happening every day and more about the rollout and why you should get the vaccine. So this platform has allowed me to reach so many people, and I hope have provided them with a calming voice during what has been just really such an uncertain time for everyone.
Well, look, when you say all in this together, I think that you bring great conviction to that. I think that's the message that people want to hear. So we want to wish you well in the time ahead. I don't know, do you have another bulletin at 11 o'clock, or are you free for Friday night? Is your week
I
finished?
am free for Friday night. I'm going to have a Guinness in honor of tonight, and just spend some time with my two little girls, Ireland and Connolly. I had to pass on the very Irish names to them as well.
Well, let's just roll that back. You have two daughters called Ireland and Connolly? Yes?
Yes, so
that's fantastic.
Ireland I came up with her name. We were at Brazen Head, one of the oldest pubs in Ireland. And I said, why not call her Ireland? It was perfect. And then I kept my maiden name Connolly. And so we decided to name my second daughter Connolly.
Oh, beauty. Good for you.
Yes.
Good for you. Well,
yes, so I have two little beauties. They're going to be taking Irish dancing. So we're trying to keep the whole culture and spirit of Ireland alive right here in Connecticut.
Well, you're a very worthy winner and recipient of the Irish Heritage Award. Thank you for being with us. We have a Connolly Centre named after James Connolly in Belfast. You're on an open invite. Next time, it's safe to come to Ireland, and you're able to come to Ireland. But look, congratulations and good luck in the time ahead. And thanks for all you do.
I would love to. Thank you so much. This has been such an honor, and I'm among such a great group of people. So this has truly been special. Thank you.
Thank you. Good luck, Erin. Thank you. Folks, that was Erin Connolly. We have some messages in. Patrick Miller, again, easy there, my dear sister Karen. Patrick and Joseph Burke, our dear friend Joe Burke in Pennsylvania. Great to see so many talented young Irish Americans, present and future leaders from such diverse backgrounds. Cheers from Philadelphia, and Philadelphia, as you all know, is the capital of Irish America. If not the heart of Irish America, certainly its soul. Best to you, Marcin and the Echo. I'm Marcin O'Millior, publisher of the Irish Echo. We're broadcasting from Belfast. It's just past midnight. On the East Coast, it's just after 7 p.m. We're joined by an absolutely marvellous group of Irish Americans, really the cream of the young leadership of Irish America, and certainly the future's in very, very safe hands. You know, there's no gathering of Irish America which is complete without our dear friends from Boston, the Dropkick Murphys. They are doing a special live stream concert on St. Patrick's Day. Get in there and buy a ticket. You know how punishing a year this has been from all our friends in the music industry. It's time for us to step up for them. So I really want everybody to go on and buy a ticket for the Dropkick Murphys for their St. Patrick's Day performance. You know, they did a magnificent performance earlier this year, which Bruce Springsteen was zoomed into as well. So let's ship this entire operation up to Boston, the Dropkick Murphys. Thank you, Ken Casey, DKM. Make sure you tune in on St. Patrick's Day to watch Dropkick Murphys in their latest live stream. Let's keep this music alive until this damn pandemic's over and we can see these great groups in live concert again. Lacey Keenan in New York is a postdoctoral research fellow at NYU Grossman School of Medicine. We thought you would have a white coat on, Lacey.
For the event, I thought I'd go back to the suit.
Well, it's great to see you. Tell me, you're on the front lines. Have you been involved in battling the pandemic? It says research, but have you been thrown into the deep end as well?
No, I'm mainly based in a lab. So yeah, we get samples from COVID patients, but I'm not patient-facing. So, but yeah, I work with a lot of people who are. So obviously they're doing amazing work. So fair play to all of the frontline workers.
And what part of New York is that accent from?
Yeah, so I'm from Dublin myself, but yeah, I live in East Midtown. So.
Well, look, congratulations on being one of our Irish 40 under 40. The Irish Echo's very proud of you. Keep up the good work and watch yourself and your work in the time ahead. I want to talk to our friend Conor Lennon up in Amherst, who that may be his front room, that may be a pub he's in, but it's a wonderful, it's a wonderful background. Conor, you have a background, as it happens, in the labour movement, and a vital time for the labour movement at the minute. How are things in Amherst?
Not too bad. Can't complain. I just was appointed secretary of our local Amherst unit for CSEA. So I get to represent most of our civil service workers in Amherst here, and I'm very, very proud of that. A lot of people put their trust in me for that one.
Good for you. And you're hoping maybe to have a better 4 years for the labour movement than the last 4 years?
Absolutely. We're always, it's always a fight to try and do a little bit more, get a little bit more out of management, and you know, just make things a lot more fair for the working man.
Well, look, it's great to see you. We do an Irish Labour event every year in September, and we'll make sure you're invited this year, Conor. So congratulations on being the Irish 40 under 40.
Absolutely. Marcin, we actually had a chance to meet before in Buffalo, so it's good to see you again.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Well, I have to get back. Well, listen, you look after yourself. Take care.
We're going to look forward to it.
Well, we're going to go. We were in Hawaii, we're in New York, we're in Los Angeles. We're going to go to the great city of Buenos Aires, Buenos Tardes. Alicia McLaughlin, you're part of the wonderful Irish diaspora in Latin America and Argentina. How are things in Argentina? And tell us a little bit about the Irish community there.
Yeah, correct. Buenas noches, everyone. I'm the 7th generation Irish, but very proud of my Irish heritage. I come from Glascorn in Westmeath. And I have a startup with one of my brothers. We coordinate polo experiences, and we've named it Glascorn on behalf of the city of my Irish heritage. And Argentina is the biggest Irish community of non-English speakers. And we are all lively, like the Irish.
Well, look, we've broken all the rules because we usually only have Irish Americans or the Irish in America, but we thought it was important. I don't know if you've seen the beautiful book called Pasaños about the Irish in Latin America, about Bernardo Higgins, about the Irish part in the independence of Argentina, and really about, as we talk about widening and the diversity of Irish America. There hasn't been a lot of work done on Latino links to Irish America in the US. So thank you for being part of the programme tonight. I hope we'll keep in touch, because I believe that your Irish newspaper is older than the Irish Echo. Was founded in 1928, but the Southern Cross was founded many years before that.
In 1875, correct.
1875. Well, look, thank you. Gracias. Thank you very much. Alicia, thank you for being with us. Lacey, see you again. Take care. Alicia, thank you. Slán go fóill. I'm Marcin O'Millior, publisher of the Irish Echo. We're rattling through this tonight. Brian McCabe sends a message in. Congratulations for this well-deserved honours celebrating young accomplishment, especially to a fine young scholar and athlete, Paul Stanton. We haven't had the pleasure of speaking to this wonderful Paul Stanton, who's getting an awful lot of commendations and congratulations. Blessings to his lovely bride, Emma, and their darling new arrival, Eleanor. So look, that was a real treat, breaking all the rules and going to Argentina. And all those who wanted to go deliver the certificate to Cocoa in Hawaii, if you weren't lucky enough, we'll send you to Buenos Aires and bring the certificate down to Alicia. Look, we're gonna have a little word now with our next honoree, and it's the Pride of Irish America Award, and it's going to a man who's in the business community in New York, who's deeply proud of his Irish heritage. He has a connection with the Irish Echo through a dear friend of the Irish Echo called Dan Cremins, and that's Thomas Tubridy, and Thomas came out top of the poll in our search for the winner of the Pride of Irish America award. So Thomas, good evening. Good evening.
Good evening, and I should say good morning to you as well.
It's good morning here. So it is. Tell us, we get mixed reports from New York and from America, but one thing that is fairly clear is that the office community and the financial community of Manhattan hasn't really come back yet. So I take it that New York's a very changed place over this year of the pandemic.
Indeed, it is. We got some good news about 2 weeks ago with the restaurant industry being able to open back up, about 25%. So that was well-needed news, and a lot of people around town and the city and the boroughs are excited about that. But New York is a changed place. Haven't ventured too often into New York City, that is, since the pandemic began, but can't wait to get back in there.
Well, so I suppose maybe you're answering your own question. Will New York bounce back?
Oh, absolutely, and stronger, of course. And it is the capital for Irish America. I just wanted to underline that.
Good for you. Now, you look more Irish than the Irish. Tell us a bit about your Irish roots.
So, both mom and dad are Irish. Great-grandparents, great-great-grandparents migrated years back in the late 1800s. Mom's side is from Mayo. Father's side is from Clare and Kerry. And married into an Irish family as well. So my father-in-law, who's in the background, I have a full family affair here. He's from Sligo. Well, look, good for you. Listen, Thomas, I hope we get an opportunity to meet the next time I'm in New York. Occasionally I call in to see Dan Cremins in Calico when I'm there, and who knows how that huge office block is doing on Park Avenue at the minute, but he's been a dear friend of the Echo. Thank you for taking part in this year's 40 Under 40. Stay safe, and we're going to hold you to that New York's going to come back stronger than ever. For sure. Thank you so much, and congratulations to all the fellow honorees. I'm very proud to be a part of this great group of people. Good. And look out for your medals on the way, and your certificate, if it hasn't arrived yet, your certificate on the way as well. So stay safe. Thank you for being part of this year's 40 Under 40. Good luck, Thomas. Thank you. Slán, take care. We have a message from another great young leader of Irish America, Sophie Colligan. And this is a message about the plans to sell the wonderful Fifth Avenue headquarters of the American Irish Historical Society. Let's hear from Sophie Colligan.
Hi everyone, my name is Sophie Colgan, and I just want to send a quick message of congratulations to all of the top 40 under 40 honorees this year, with a special shout out to my Weehawken neighbour Paul Stanton. Congratulations, Paul. As a previous honoree, I understand the importance of building a strong network and having connections, and this is such a good way to do that. So congratulations to you all. And as I say, as a past honoree, I want to take this opportunity to ask you each to get behind a really important petition that I've started. You may or may not have heard about it, but it's to stop the sale of the American Irish Historical Society, which is a really important Irish American building in New York. If this building is sold, unfortunately, the hard work done by many generations of Irish and Irish Americans in this country will go to waste. It is such a spectacular place, and we are appealing to the Attorney General of New York to stop the sale. And this petition that has already got almost 7,000 signatures is going to be a big push on our efforts. So it only takes 10 seconds to sign. You can find it at www.change.org/991 Fifth Ave. There's plenty of articles about it in the Irish Echo and in other publications if you want to get up to speed with what's going on. And as I say, if I could ask you the big favour to sign, only takes a second, and if you could share it with some people in your network, I would really, really appreciate it. Congratulations again, everyone, and congratulations to Marcin and everyone at the Irish Echo for hosting yet another successful event. So thanks so much.
Thank you, Sophie. It's great to hear from you, and that's a wonderful, powerful message, and we have spent the Irish Echo spent some wonderful evenings and events at the American Irish Historical Society. We really do hope it remains in the hands of the Irish American community. A message from Assemblyman Michael Fitzpatrick, who wants to know if the barber shops are closed in Belfast. There hasn't been a barber shop open in Belfast in at least 4 months, which is why I have this long hair. Sean Summers from Boston, a great friend of ours. And if you think the music industry's had a hard year, the pubs in Boston have been absolutely pulverised. So again, our solidarity to Sean, but to pub owners and Irish bar owners right across America as well. I want to move on to our next group of honorees, and we're going to go to Massachusetts. We're going to go to Texas, a New Jersey woman who's in exile in Texas. Michal Kurchin Nuarak and Michael Noonan. Gary Mannion first. Gary, there was a famous Irish American in Lawrence, Massachusetts by the name of Dave Burke, who made a big impression in the city of Belfast, where we're coming from now, but in Ireland, and who we miss greatly. But he was very proud of the Irish of Lawrence, Massachusetts, which of course is a very transformed town. It's a city that's had some hard times. But tell us how the Irish are doing in Lawrence, Massachusetts today.
Well, thank you again for having me. And yeah, we do miss Dave Burke. He was an instrumental part of the Irish heritage here in Lawrence. He actually started one of our branch libraries. He actually started an Irish heritage room where he just brought in materials beyond materials of books and stuff from Ireland, just to educate the people of the city about our history and the Irish history within the city. And that's something that we still hold till to this day. And we have him to thank for that. But we are still, growing strong. And I think that the heritage that we have here within the city, built by the Irish immigrants, the city was founded just as Irish immigrants were coming into the United States. And they really helped build the city, build the mills, and build sort of everything that we still use to this day. And it's still continuing to thrive, even though, like every other city in the world, the pandemic has hurt it a little bit, but still continuing to thrive on.
Well, look, you're a firefighter in Lawrence, Massachusetts. I've been there many times. We have a dear friend over in Andover, Art McCabe. You're also a Democrat, so you had a good election. So I'm sure the next 4 years will go well for you. But thank you for keeping the Irish flag flying in Lawrence, Massachusetts, Gary. Well done. Aileen, what are you doing in Texas? You're a Jersey girl and you're in Texas. So tell us, you're part of the famous McGuire clan, which have been great supporters of the Irish Echo. You may have had a sister who was at 40 under 40 before you. What are you doing in Texas?
We decided to move as soon as we graduated, me and my boyfriend, from college, and we decided to pave our own path.
Good. And how are things going?
Great. I mean, it wasn't so great the last week. We didn't have power, water, nothing. We're still not allowed to brush our teeth with the water or drink it.
But
so we're buying bottled water now.
But a little bit of snow wouldn't, you wouldn't have been concerned about the snowfall as perhaps some of your neighbours who have lived all their lives in Texas.
Yeah, I was actually stuck in New Jersey with the family and my boyfriend had to fend for himself here. Well,
listen, Aileen, it's great to see you. I wish you well in Texas and all you do, and give our warm regards to all the McGuire family. So congratulations again. Avihal Oig McCurchin, our daughter fad Cogarges as a ver and lista a Cogarges Fostas and Gaelic Olam agus Rogu America who agus Rogu Dahar America agus the Hana agus the Hanwar. So could you mar dolam to in Gaelic America?
Well, Husame Rocky Sullivan's pub and the Ranganiam agus an Shin the an Jesham go Connemara ar fa cúpla seachmanna I robbhí sa ceithirteag agus tagamarash chuidir blian le beag an gailge ólam agus bheith páirteach a síl na gailge an. Yeah, sin scéal.
Well, look, Micheál, you're part of a very important development in Irish America over the last 10 years, because we know the greatest Irish dancers come from Irish America, the greatest Irish fiddle players come from Irish America, the greatest Irish writers come from Irish America. But also of late, we've had this great explosion of learning of the Irish language, and people like yourself who were born in America are now part of this wonderful diaspora movement of Irish speakers. And it has given those of us who speak Irish at home, it has given us great courage for the time ahead. So well done, Rocky O'Sullivan's Bar over there in Brooklyn.
Thank you.
And please keep up the good work. That's makes us so proud to hear this beautiful Irish that you speak. So,
Go to my head work team.
Can you hear that? Mr. Noonan, is it a good time to be involved in a startup in an early stage company? And
it is a great time to be involved in a startup in an early stage company.
Well, you must be in sales. Tell us a little bit about, is it Clarify? Tell us a little bit about this startup you're in.
Yeah, so Clarify, we're a AI platform company. We have offices in New York, DC, San Francisco, and very, very happy to say we opened up an office in Estonia early last year. I led that effort. Very much hoping that in this year we're able to expand out our sales initiatives to Ireland. I think there's a lot of opportunity there, a lot of talent there, a lot we can do there.
Well, listen, you may not know this, but MTAC Europe, MIT's MTAC Europe is going to be in Belfast in July. And we were speaking to some of our friends in Tallinn, Tenopol, the innovation hub there. I think we'll have to get you an excuse to zoom you in or bring you over or something for that event. So let's keep in touch.
I'm all in.
Okay, listen, Aviel, Gurraked, Gary, keep up a good work up there in Lawrence, Massachusetts. Very important to us. Aileen, great to see you. I hope you have great success in Texas. And Michael, see you at MTAC Europe. Take care, folks. Thank you very much. Thank you. 4 wonderful honorees. We're going to split, take a little break. Here's some more messages.
Good evening. On behalf of Benchmark Strategies, my name is Pat Bench, the president of our public affairs firm based here in Boston, Massachusetts. We are so proud to be partnering with Irish Echo Magazine for tonight's 40 Under 40 celebration. Each of the awardees are duly recognized from around the United States of being leaders in their field. We could not be more excited to be with you tonight. We are especially proud because one of our own is one of the awardees tonight. Nicole Herendeen, one of the fastest rising stars at our firm, a leader in our international economic development consulting team, as well as director of our public policy reporting practice. While the last 12 months have created considerable challenges both personally and professionally, what we've also found is tremendous inspiration about how between the United States and Ireland, relationships continue to begin, grow, and sustain even virtually. At Benchmark Strategies, we only see a bright future ahead for what's going to grow when we're all together here in person again. So on behalf of Benchmark Strategies, our team looks forward to seeing you in person soon. And to all of the awardees tonight, congratulations. Thank you.
Nicole Herendine up in Boston, congratulations on being the recipient of our Irish Trailblazer Award. It's wonderful to have you join us this afternoon. Nicole, you're a member of the Women's Political Caucus up in Boston, and one of the things that surprises us in Ireland is that we usually think America's a little bit ahead of us, but has there been a woman mayor of Boston yet?
No, not yet. But once Mayor Walsh is confirmed as U.S. Labor Secretary, Kim Janey, who serves as the president of the Boston City Council, will become the acting mayor. So Boston will be seeing a female mayor very soon, which is super exciting. Wow. And for the election in November, there's already actually 3 incredible female city councilors who are running for mayor of Boston. So I look forward to seeing what happens in the race.
Good. And it'd be nice if you beat New York, because I don't think New York over hundreds of years has had a female mayor either. Nicole, you've been involved in welcoming some companies from Ireland into Boston, into Massachusetts, and I think you may have even sent them down as far as Pennsylvania. Have you had any success in helping people take their businesses from Ireland and make landfall, as it were, in Massachusetts and do business in Massachusetts?
Definitely. Yeah, we always host a trade mission. We did 2 years ago, one from Ireland, from Derry and Donegal. 15 companies, all different types of industries, from like life science companies to smaller, just wool and clothing and different ones. So we help them either open up offices here in Boston or just doing business-to-business meetings and partnerships with companies in Boston. So it's been exciting to work with them.
Well, look, thanks very much. I mean, that work's going to be so important in the time ahead now as we start moving out of recovery. We think you might be a future mayor of Boston. That's why we picked you as our Irish Trailblazer. So, but you've plenty of time. You've plenty of time. But look, thanks for being with us tonight. Congratulations on being our Irish Trailblazer. It's wonderful to have such a great cadre and cohort of great Irish Americans with us tonight. So congratulations again. Well done.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Good luck. Good luck. Slán go fóill. Our next group are again from Pennsylvania, from Georgia, another Georgia, a man who played football in Georgia, and from New York. So if I can see, as they bring them up for me, I see some more messages here. Lynn Cosgrove has signed a petition already. That was quick work. And Brian McCabe says, great job, Sophie Berbua. Michael O'Rourke, yeah, I can certainly see them over here. Michael O'Rourke in Pennsylvania. Sean Patricia, those are the biggest set of headphones, Sean, we have ever seen. Those are fantastic. And Stephen Place is a long way away, and Maria Rogan. So I'm going to see them behind me, not necessarily, no. Michael. Good to see you. Sorry, Michael. You're. I don't know if you work with Joe Burke, do you, or Joe Burke who's just left? Because no state does the work that the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania does to try and bring Irish business to America. Tell us what you do. Are you working? You work for the state economic development department?
I do. Yeah. So my job is to try to help Irish and Northern Irish companies set up in Pennsylvania, and we do that through our network of overseas contractors. And we're really proud of the investment that Ireland and Northern Ireland make. We have 300 locations of Irish and Northern Irish companies employing 30,000 people. And a lot of them doing really critical work right now as it relates to the pandemic. 2 companies that come to mind are Almac, which is based in Craigavon, Northern Ireland. They're the single largest Northern Irish investor in the United States. And they're in the greater Philadelphia region, and they employ 1,400 people in Pennsylvania. We're really grateful for the investment. They're doing a lot of clinical trials related to the Pfizer vaccine and a lot of the other vaccines. Another company is Tortec, based in County Wicklow. They do hygienic doors for a lot of these labs that are working on the Moderna vaccine, among others. So we're really, really proud of the work that they're doing. Well,
we'll keep up that good work. You've big shoes to fill in terms of Joe Burke, but we know that Pennsylvania will always be there for Ireland and Irish business. We're very proud of Almac in particular. So congratulations, Michael. Sean Patricia, we don't go to Atlanta often enough. And, you know, everybody's heard about the big Irish parade in Savannah, but you're very proud of the Irish parade in Atlanta when you're allowed to have it. I presume there'll be no parade this year, but tell us about the Irish St. Patrick's Day parade in Atlanta.
Yeah, unfortunately, this is going to end up being the second year in the row that we're not allowed to have it. it is one of the oldest ones in the nation. We come together with all the different organizations, Irish Network of Atlanta, Hibernians Benevolent Society. We all pitch in, we all get together. It is a rip-roaring good time going right through the middle of Atlanta. And we definitely see the folks of Irish descent start pouring out in an area where you don't expect to see them.
Well, look, we're glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear you're a member of the AOH. AOH has been well represented tonight. There are some of Scots-Irish activities in Atlanta. Do the Scots-Irish and the Irish get together on St. Patrick's Day? It's a day for everyone, is it?
Yeah, it's kind of hard to even tell the difference down here, because just even finding someone of Irish heritage is kind of, it's a shocker down here. I'm originally from Albany, New York myself, so seeing all those faces around Albany and Buffalo, you come down here, you say you're Irish, and people look at you cross-eyed. So it's a different environment.
Well, look, I haven't been there in a while, but we wish you well, and thank you for being part of the Irish ACO 40 under 40. Yeah, it's a pleasure having you. Congratulations. Stephen Place, Georgia isn't known as a hotbed of football, but you played a little bit of soccer in Georgia yourself, and not talking about Georgia, Europe, but talking about Georgia, USA.
I certainly did, Mark, and I had a great time. I was there with 9 other Irish guys, allegedly attending university there. Although Tallahassee parties on a Monday night were the more, let's just say, appealing invite, but they had a great time and a great southern hospitality as well.
Well, are you playing any football in Malta? And you're joining us from Malta now?
Well, to be honest, I have 9 months, 10 months to go till I hit 40. So I'm aging, and it's 2 o'clock in the morning, and I'm feeling older even as I speak. But I try and keep fit as well, and it's important for the mentality, especially during the pandemic.
Well, listen, you're actually out of bed even later than we are, so we're keeping you from your bed. But look, thanks for being part of the Irish ACO 40 under 40. Mairead Rogan, you're on mute, but I know you're going to correct that any minute, and you're in Astoria. So, Mairead, there's only 2 questions. What is biogenetics, and what does Natura do?
Oh, thank you. It's a biogenetic company. We screen DNA in your blood for genetic aneuploidies with fetuses or for cancer, a whole litany of very technical terms I won't get into.
Well, look, listen, thanks for being part of this tonight. Mairead, Michael, Sean Petruccia in Atlanta, Stephen all the way over there in Malta. Thank you for being part of the Irish ACO 40 under 40, and good night. Have a great Friday night. We're going to go back. Pat Bench is going to join us again, because Pat Bench from Boston is going to announce the winner of the Business Ambassador Award. Reprise number 2, Pat Bench.
Tonight, on behalf of Benchmark Strategies, our team is so proud to be sponsoring the Irish Echo Business Ambassador Award. The award winner tonight at the 40 under 40 celebration is Megan Quinn of HSBC in South Buffalo, New York. Congratulations, Megan. We're so excited for you for this recognition. And on behalf of Irish Echo and Benchmark Strategies, we look forward to collaboration in the future.
So, Megan, between ourselves, we both know where the Irish American capital is, and it's good to be connected to the Irish American capital, the capital of Irish America, even only for a few minutes. Megan, you've had an interesting day, because not only are you the Business Ambassador Award recipient on the Irish ACO 40 under 40, but when you woke up this morning, there were decorations outside your house. And then I think at 3:30, a little bit of presentation for you, because of course, the reason you won, of course, was your great talent and your excellence and your involvement in Irish activity. But you also did have the famed Kennedy electoral machine behind you, I believe. Senator Tim Kennedy was your election agent for this poll. Is that true?
Yeah. No, I mean, like anything, it takes the community to get everything done. So I've got a great group of supporters here in Buffalo, New York, the Irish capital of America, and they love to support me and embarrass me. So here I am.
Well, look, and thank you very much. You've had a tough year. When I was in Buffalo, I had the great privilege of being in your Irish Centre. I met the GAA teams, I met the dancers. There's so much activity. Everything's still on ice, and I use that word advisedly, because I believe there's a lot of snow and ice in Buffalo right up. I think I was there in May, and there was still ice and snow. Everything's on ice, but I take it the Irish American community is as strong as ever.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, the sun was shining today, so there's less ice than there was yesterday. But the Irish Center is still doing our fish fries. We're following the social guidelines, social guidelines, and, you know, just trying to keep the spirit alive under what restrictions we have to follow right now. So St. Patrick's Day will be different again, but, you know, the Irish always find a way to have a party. So we'll be.
Well, look, congratulations. It's the only Irish city I've been in which has bilingual street names in Irish and in English down. I don't know, do you call it your Irish Ward or the Irish Quarter?
We have the Gaelic street signs and South Buffalo, and then I would be remiss to say that then there's the Valley and then there's the Ward. So we have 3 different in New York.
Well, look, congratulations on being our business ambassador. I hope to get back to, between us, just as the capital of Irish America, I hope to get back to Buffalo soon. Give our regards to all our friends, in particular to Senator Kennedy, and congratulations again.
Will do. Thank you so much. I'm really honored.
Thank you. Well done. Well done. That was Megan Quinn up in Buffalo, New York. We're going to move on to our next group of 4. And we have Paul Stanton, who's been mentioned in dispatches earlier on as a wonderful athlete. Melissa Ward, of course, from the greatest Irish American festival of them all out there in Milwaukee. Brendan Sullivan from Connecticut, and Matthew Sweeney, the famous Mayor Matt from Floral Park, New York. Mr. Stanton, where are we? You surprised me there. Paul, you've been mentioned in many, many different aspects here, a man of many parts. And so they're telling me you're an athlete. You're also a builder, but you have an interest in horticulture, and you have a connection to the White House in horticulture. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so I'm feeling the love tonight. A lot of support. It's great. I was in DC. I'm living in the States about 13 years now. I'm from County Cork, originally East Cork. And I was down in DC back in 2009, and I was wandering around the White House and outside, obviously not inside, but looking on with awe, and stumbled across a plaque on the ground for a guy who came originally from Castlemartyr, and he became very important in DC. So I just mentioned it at home. I said, look, this guy came from down the road and did well. And he was the first, he laid out a lot of the streets and parks in DC. The plaque was right at the back of the White House. So his family then made the link back and had a plaque honored and unveiled by President Bill Clinton back in East Cork, where their ancestor was born. So it was just a nice little connection, and I thought it was fitting.
Well, listen, Cork's loss is New York's gain. Thank you for being part of the Irish ACO. New Jersey's gain. Thanks for being part of the 40 under 40, Paul. It's great to see you, Melissa. There could be no argument at all over where is the greatest Irish festival, the best Irish festival, the biggest Irish festival, over 100,000 people. When will we see the Milwaukee Irish Fest return, do you think? This August, perhaps?
Well, we are very much hoping for a festival here in 2021, the 3rd weekend in August. So we'll see how things pan out. But either way, we're planning some sort of celebration, whether it's online or in person. So we're doing the best we can to develop a couple of different scenarios based on how things might progress over the next couple of months.
Well, everyone looks to Milwaukee for leadership. I know that you really do bring all the other Irish festivals together. I know that people even in Nova Scotia who organise Irish festivals come and visit Milwaukee. It's a remarkable experience, and I don't work for the Tourist Board of Milwaukee, but I've been once to the Irish Fest, and everyone should go at least once. So keep up good work. Say hello to Colleen Kennedy and all our friends out there. We love them very much and miss them very much. They usually come to Ireland in January and they couldn't do that. So thank you, Melissa. Congratulations on being one of our Irish ACO 40 under 40 honorees. Brendan Sullivan up in Rocky Hill. Brendan, we have had a few firefighters at our events. In fact, we had a firefighter, at least one earlier tonight, but you're a firefighter in 2 towns. Explain that one.
So in Rocky Hill, I'm a member of the fire department here, and in one of the towns that we have the funeral home in, there's a fire department right down the street. So during the day, if there's a call for the fire department in the other town, then I get to go to that one. But primarily, I'm at the Rocky Hill Company 1 fire department.
Well, look, we're tremendously proud of you. Stay safe, stay twice as safe as we usually ask our firefighters to stay, so that you're fighting fires in 2 towns. Congratulations to being on the Irish Echo 40 under 40. You're not the only person from Connecticut tonight, but we have to do more in Connecticut because it's such a great Irish state. So thank you very much. Matthew Sweeney, you're on mute, but you're going to I know you're going to come off mute. They call you Mayor Matt for being the most industrious person in that wonderful establishment up there in the Bronx called Manhattan College. You are one of the people who does all the hard work for Rob Walsh, who gets all the acclaim, of course, our dear friend Rob Walsh, who's the advisor to the president up there in Manhattan. You've been involved in, 3,000 activities, but tell us about this cleanup of Van Cortlandt Park, where you definitely were getting your hands dirty. What was that all about?
Sure. Back in the fall, October 24th, nice cool day. We had 2 portions of parkland that we wanted to clean up. So in Van Cortlandt Park, which is the 3rd largest in New York City, there was a section called Memorial Grove dedicated to fallen veterans from our community. So they wanted to clean that up in preparation for Veterans Day. So about half of our volunteers went over. We had a student veterans organization. Manhattan College is known for how well it treats its veterans. So we went over there and cleaned that up in preparation for that event. And there was also a little piece of land, Dogwood Junction, that was in between the roadway that had been neglected for many years. So we went over there, weeded, pulled out invasive species, threw down mulch, took care of it.
Well, look, I'm told that you're they call you Mayor Matt because you get things done in Manhattan. So Manhattan College was to have its first ever study abroad visit to Belfast in the summer of 2020. There was a thing called the pandemic, which I think you may have spotted, and that stopped it. But I want you to make sure that study abroad visit from Manhattan College does come to Belfast, if not in 2021, 2022. Could you do that for me as a favour?
Absolutely.
All right.
I make a promise.
Matt, give our love to Rob Walsh and congratulations. Melissa, congratulations. Paul, keep the faith. Up Cork, up the Rebel County. Matthew, thank you very much. Here's a message from Brennan O'Donnell, president of Manhattan College, who's a little message for Matthew Sweeney.
Hello, my name is Brennan O'Donnell, or perhaps I should add for this audience, Brennan Patrick O'Donnell. In addition to being so obviously Irish, I serve as president of Manhattan College, which, as you know, encompasses the hallowed ground of Gaelic Park. I'm also a great fan of the Irish Echo. Congratulations to all of our 40 under 40 winners from across the country. You are an impressive group, and the work that you all do in your communities is so important, especially during these times when so many people need a helping hand. And please allow me to extend a very special thanks to one of tonight's honorees, Matthew Sweeney. Matt is a proud Manhattan College Jasper. Many call Matt the mayor on campus, acknowledging his nearly ubiquitous presence and his tremendous service in our community. And when I say our community, I mean not only the college, but also our larger neighborhood, serving, for example, as the convener of our Community Relations Forum in his role as our Neighborhood Relations Committee Chair. So active is Matt that I have become increasingly convinced over the past several years that there are actually 3 of him, at least. No one person could be that active. I sincerely hope that Matt intends to share this honor with his identical siblings. Again, warm congratulations to Matt and to all of our honorees tonight. Have a wonderful evening.
Well, that was a beautiful message from the president of Manhattan College, Brennan O'Donnell, for our dear friend, Matthew Sweeney. Here's another great friend of the Irish Echo. Andrew Elliott is the director of the Northern Ireland Bureau in Washington, D.C. He also has been locked down, and I no doubt he regrets the fact that he will not be joined by many of his political leaders over St. Patrick's Day, but he will still do a magnificent job, I'm sure, in representing all of us out there over the St. Patrick's Day events, restricted as they are in March. Andrew Elliott's going to tell us a little bit about a special award we have called Building a Better Tomorrow Award. He's going to tell us a little bit about the recipient of that award, who's a young man from Lurgan. Andrew Elliott.
Hello, my name is Andrew Elliott and I'm the Director of the Northern Ireland Bureau here in Washington, DC. It's a real pleasure to be able to join you today for the 40 Under 40 Awards. The Bureau has been associated with these awards now for a number of years and is especially pleased to be able this year to sponsor the Building for Tomorrow Award, which will be announced just now. The successful recipient of this award this year is an accomplished historian who started his tertiary education in the University of Ulster studying history and then moved on to complete a master's in the University of Maryland in Baltimore County in historical studies. He's now studying PhD in history in the University of Pennsylvania, and in addition to that is also active on a number of non-profit organisations involved in educational equality, compassionate dialogue and political activism. I'm really pleased to be able to announce to you now that the winner of the award this year is Conor Donnan. Congratulations, Conor. Thank you.
Conor, congratulations, and tell us how you ended up out there in Maryland. What are you doing out there at university? What are you studying? What brought you to the University of Pennsylvania? Because you're a local boy. You're a local boy, Conor. What are you doing over there?
I am. Thank you, Martin, and thank you everybody for involved in this. As you said, I grew up in Belfast, and I was always sort of interested in what the Irish diaspora was, especially during the peace process with all of the Americans coming over, you know. And so after I finished up at University of Ulster, I moved to UMBC just outside of Baltimore, got my master's degree, and then went to Penn, where I study anti-imperialism and anti-capitalism among Native Americans and the Irish community. And so it's a lot of traveling around the United States that I didn't really think I would be going to before. Everyone talks about New York and Boston as the capital, but no one talks about Butte, Montana. You know.
Good for you. Well, look, that's so you've landed on your feet, Conor, which is wonderful. But you're also involved in another project, which a lot of people don't know about, but it's very important. It's a unique project in Baltimore. It's called the Irish Railroad Workers Museum and Irish Shrine. Tell us a little bit about that. And I don't know if you're on the committee, you're involved in that, but tell us what the Irish Railroad Workers Museum is and what makes it unique.
I am on the board of the Irish Railroad Workers Museum, and the museum is unique for a couple of reasons. First, it was founded by a bunch of Irish American activists who were saving the buildings that are from the 1840s from getting condemned by the Baltimore city government. So the buildings were all going to get knocked down, and these Irish American activists all came in and said, these are historic. There's a lot of famine era immigrants who lived here and we want to keep them. So they saved them and turned these row houses into an Irish museum, which is the only working class exclusively laboring museum in the United States, I believe. And it tells the story of famine era immigrants, the Feely family specifically. And we're now actually expanding our footprint, putting two more historic houses, buying two more historic houses and renovating our website. So the museum will continue to grow and get better after the pandemic ends.
Well, look, first of all, congratulations, Conor. We're terribly proud of you and all you have achieved. I've been to the Irish Railroad Workers Museum in Baltimore. It's in a troubled part of Baltimore, so actually it's playing a part in the, I suppose, revival of the city or renaissance or trying to bring those areas back. So its work is doubly important just for the city, for the community of Baltimore, and indeed for the Irish community. So listen, keep up the good work. We look forward to seeing a publication on that subject you're writing about, because it's terribly interesting for us. You're not able to get home very easily, I take it, Conor. You would have to quarantine when you come home.
No, yeah, I can't. I was actually supposed to get married in the GPO in May. Then obviously didn't happen. There's too much of people wouldn't be able to get home in the quarantine and all of that. So, you know, my mom would be very excited if I could get home. I was thinking earlier when you were saying that Joe Biden was going to appoint a special envoy. I was like, maybe I'll throw him the name and see what he says.
No, well, look, that would be good. Tell me, this young lady you were going to marry, if it was a young lady, she's in the States or she's in Ireland?
She's in the States. I mean,
good.
we did like get married. We didn't have the ceremony. We just had the legal part. She's a doctor here in Johns Hopkins Bayview.
Okay, you've landed on your feet, Conor. Congratulations, well done. Give our regards to everyone, all our dear friends in Baltimore, especially at the Irish Railroad Workers Museum. Congratulations again. Thank you. Conor Donlan, well done, Conor. Some messages. Michael O'Rourke marching during our Zoom session. I meant to make a vote for Scranton, PA as a capital of Irish America in honour of number 46, of course, number 46, but that's Ned McGinley's area, Scranton, Pennsylvania, so we'd have to check, we'd have to run that past our dear friend Ned McGinley. Jeannie Dornan says, well done, Conor Donnan. Jeannie Donnan says, well done, Conor Donnan, so proud of you. And Sean Dalton says, well done, Tom Dalton. All your neighbours love you and thank you for catching that crook back in 2004. I knew we should have told him to tell that story. And Cat Bride, all praise and congratulations to Michael Noonan. Joined by 3 New Yorkers now. Michael Tobin of Rochester, New York, which has been on the news the last week. Patrick Steffens from New York City. And Maura Whelan Spiegel from Pearl River, New York. No Irish event is complete without someone from Pearl River, because Pearl River may not be the capital of Irish America, it may not be a city, but it probably is the most Irish place in all of Irish America. So why don't we start with you, Maura? Tell me, you're with a legal firm, but I'm not sure you're interested in law. You're really interested in traditional music and comics. How
yes. I do play the fiddle, a lifelong fiddle player, but also I every year until this year, I've always gone to New York Comic Con, and I'm a big nerd. I IT background, so no surprise there. But I love to cosplay, which is dress up in costumes based on comics and sci-fi. And I always cosplay famous redheads. So Ginny Weasley from Harry Potter, Amy Pond from Doctor Who. It's an easy go for me.
Well, there was a lady on earlier on tonight who's also very interested in comics, so we'll have to find out. It's escaped me now, but it was in her bio as well. So 2 comic fans. I mean, you're probably the only fiddle player. There might be another fiddle player, but 2 comic fans in one night is fantastic. Tell us just a little bit, because you're the last group on tonight. Tell us what sort of place Pearl River is.
Pearl River, well, like you said, it is the home of the 2nd largest St. Patrick's Day parade in New York State. Very Irish, wonderful town. We have a local GAA right here. So I have 2 daughters, and a big reason my husband and I moved here is we want them to play Irish music, learn Irish dance, and if they want to, have a chance to play football. So it's a lovely part of the world.
Tell us the names of your 2 daughters.
Maeve and Neve.
Okay, well listen, Maura, you're a star. Thank you for being part of the Irish Echo 40 Under 40. Keep up the good work. Michael Tobin, no list of the Irish 40 Under 40 is complete without a teacher on the list. Teachers have stepped up over the last year. It's been a really tough time. You've been on the front line. I'm not sure just you're back to school or not back to school yet, but tell us how it's been trying to teach children virtually and so on, and keeping their spirits up and keeping them educated.
I actually just went back yesterday, so this is my first full 2 days with students in the room and half of my students at home. I can say I do miss the mute button in Zoom, but it really was a wonderful experience. It was great having the kids back, even if it was only half of my class. So I'm really looking forward to things getting back to normal, because you don't become a teacher to sit in front of a computer. You do it to get the interaction and to help students and to watch them grow and to watch them succeed, and you just don't get the same experience sitting in front of a computer screen.
And tell me this, when I wasn't always happy to go to school, but I take it these children are just delighted to be back at school as well, are they?
I've been teaching 14 years and I've never had a first day of school like this. It was pretty amazing. Every one of the kids were on time and they were happy the whole day and looking forward to coming back the next day. So it has been nice after being out for almost a full year.
Well, look, listen, we just had an event earlier in the night here in Belfast for the teaching heroes of the pandemic. 47 teachers, all virtual from across Belfast. And I mean, the teachers are appreciated like never before. Hopefully that will be reflected in your salary and your compensation in the time ahead when the pandemic's finished. But listen, keep up the good work, Michael, and congratulations.
Thank you.
Patrick.
Thank you very much.
Patrick Steffens. Patrick, you're in the real estate business. So tell us how New York's doing. We hear some reports very bleak. Tell us how's your business?
Sure. It's definitely, two parts to the big story. First is the real estate market in New York is not dead. Those who have counted us out in the past have had a long history of defeat. Sure, work from home has changed what the office has done for all of us, but the office still holds a special place for a lot of companies and the culture that they're trying to create to use to recruit and retain employees. And, it's part of what separates one company from another. We do think that once we're allowed and comfortable and healthy, that people are going to come back to work, albeit it may not be 40 plus hours a week, it may be a couple days, but companies will still need a place to go to work or a place to call work.
Okay, well look, listen, the last group of the night, Maura, gur a céad maithagat, Patrick, gur a maithagat, Michael, Míle buíochas, thank you very much to all three of you. Good night, have a wonderful Friday evening. And from Belfast at 2 a.m. and 1 a.m. in the morning, good night, take care, good luck. If it's 1 a.m., it's now, what time is it? It's now 1 a.m., it's 7 o'clock, it's 8 o'clock. Oh my goodness, it's 8 p.m. on the Eastern, so it is. Okay, our next recipient is the Cultural Champion Award. The winner is Kieran McGurl, who I was talking to earlier by email from Bay Ridge, Brooklyn. But before we welcome Kieran, just two things to do. One, there's some really nice messages. Sherry Penn, so proud of our son-in-law, Connor Donahue. That's beautiful. Eileen Collins, congratulations. Maura, who just spoke. Karen Keane says, congratulations, Michael Tobin. Liam McNabb says, congratulations, brother Hibernian. Michael Tobin, cheers. Sean O'Dowd of the Irish American Writers and Artists, Inc., and also a great Celtic trustee fan. It's a fantastic event. And Patrick Miller says, congratulations, worthy President Tobin of the Rochester AOH. And we didn't mention it, Michael was a hib as well. Before we talk to our dear friend Kieran McGurl, here's, as they say in America, here's some messages.
Where I'm from is who I am.
Kieran, we're so proud of you.
Kieran, today we celebrate you becoming one of Irish Echo's 40 under 40, but you're still #1 in all of our hearts.
Congratulations, Kieran. I love you a quadrillion, and I'm so proud of you.
Hey, Kieran, congratulations. We're so proud of you, continuing the tradition of your grandfather, Al O'Hagan.
To think it was 20 years ago when you made your Irish Echo debut sitting on Pop's lap at the Great Irish Fair, and here you are 20 years later. You're incredible, Kieran.
Congratulations, Kieran. I'm very, very, very proud of you.
There are no words to describe how proud I am of you.
Thank you for being an incredible big brother. I love you so much.
We're so proud of you. Yeah.
Congratulations!
Congrats, Kieran. We love you.
I love you.
We love you.
Now keep up the good work.
I'm so proud of you, and Papa would be too. Just love you. Hello, Kieran McGurl. This is Andy Cooney congratulating you for being one of the top Irish Americans under 40. You certainly deserve it. You've achieved so much, and just keep on going.
Well, we had our Irish campfire last August and Andy Cooney sang at it. I was a bit worried tonight that he wasn't featured on the Irish 40 under 40, so I'm delighted to see him, and please support all the great work that Andy Cooney is doing. He's put together a wonderful podcast, so he has, breaking all the rules. So we're delighted to see him. Kieran, those were absolutely beautiful messages. Thanks for being with us. You're our cultural champion at the Irish Echo 40 under 40. And you're a stalwart. You're a stalwart of the Irish American Building Society, and it's one of the business groups that maybe people don't know as much about, but you're sort of the driving force behind the Great Irish Fair as well. So tell us a bit about the Irish American Building Society.
Yeah, the IABS is a great organization, and it's actually the organization that hosts the Great Irish Fair, which was founded by my grandfather, Al O'Hagan, who's mentioned in that really, really awesome video my family put together. Really, that was really cool. But anyway, so that was the driving force behind the Great Irish Fair. And, luckily we were able to continue the Great Irish Fair this year in a virtual format. It had a number of thousands of views on our virtual show, and it was a success. And I feel like, we did what the Irish do. We kept the legacy going, we kept fighting, and we always will.
Well, look, those messages were very moving, and a lot of work went into that as well. We deal with Marty Cottingham, I think it is, at the Great Irish Fair. I really mean it gives people such a lift, and I know Madeleine O'Boyle at the Irish Echo usually goes out with papers. I take it you're heartbroken that you weren't able to run the fair, and will it be back this year, do you think?
You know, we hope so. It all comes down to, I guess, vaccinations and the city and state guidelines in New York. But regardless, we were able to do something really special this year on Facebook Live. We were able to bring that tradition of music and culture and faith and tradition. We were able to keep it going and continue it. And I know no matter what the circumstances are this year, there will be a Great Irish Fair one way or another. We'll keep celebrating that tradition.
Well, we really hope so. Tell us a little bit about your Irish roots, because there was a lot of great Irish people in that little movie there. Tell us about your own roots in Ireland.
Yeah, well, my father was actually born in County Monaghan. He was adopted and came over here, but my grandfather is my hero, and he founded the Great Irish Fair and was Grand Marshal of the 1986 parade, and my great-great-grandfather was Grand Marshal of the 1929 parade, the New York City St. Patrick's Day parade. So I was kind of raised in it. We went to every Great Irish Fair that ever was. I remember driving around in the golf cart around the fairgrounds, and it's who I am. It's what I was bred in, and I'm most proud of being Irish. Out of everything that I am, I'm most proud to be Irish.
Well, look, at the very start of the night, the Ambassador of Ireland to the US, Don Mulhall, gave us a message, and he said on it how amazed he is at the phenomenon which is Irish America, and the strength of Irish America, and diversity and the breadth and so many activities. So it's appropriate that as we come to the end, that we hear from you, we hear the great work that you're doing. Please keep it up. From Ireland, there's no travel really, effectively no travel at all between our two countries at the minute, but we're very proud of you and people like it are keeping the spirit of Ireland alive and keeping Irish America strong, healthy in the time ahead. So stay safe, Kieran. I hope to visit the Great Irish Fair when it's back, and if it's not 2021, it'll certainly be 2022. It'll be hard to keep a man like yourself down.
Yeah, we'll be looking forward to seeing there, and thank you so much for having me tonight. It really is an honor to be named among all these great honorees. This really has been amazing.
Good for you. Let's keep up good work, and say thank you. Please say thank you to all those wonderful people who had messages of support for you earlier on.
Most of them are downstairs, so I'll go join them right now.
Good for you. Thank you very much. Well done. Well done. That was Kieran McGurl, and we're delighted to have him as our cultural champion 2021. And I think then that brings us to one person left between some of the people in here, the wonderful engineers here at the NAVAC studios in East Belfast, and their bed stands a young man called Tom Griffith. And Tom is the winner of our poll. We put the whole 40 out there and asked you to tell us who, in your opinion, was the Young Irish American Leader of the Year, the People's Choice Award. And I'm delighted that it's a New Jersey man, Tom Griffith of New Providence, New Jersey. And he's involved in business. He's involved in Red Hook Terminals. And I presume that's Red Hook, New York. Tom?
Yes, sir.
That we're talking
Red Hook,
about.
Brooklyn.
And I was last there. I was there before Hurricane Sandy, and I think Hurricane Sandy did a lot of damage out there in Red Hook. Maybe not a million miles from Rocky O'Sullivan's bar, if you've ever heard of that. But tell us, first of all, congratulations. Thank you for being patient. We've been on the air now 2 hours and 10 minutes, and it's such a thrill to have you. You're the great grandson of Irish immigrants, but you know the one thing that will surprise people, because occasionally I have the good fortune to be in California, and I was there in December 2019. The weather was beautiful in Santa Monica in December 19, and I occasionally meet the odd New Yorker who says they move out for the weather. But you moved from Santa Monica, where you were born, to New York. So tell us that story. How did you make that journey?
So my father was in insurance, and growing up, we had the joy of being transferred many times all across the country, which is a great experience. We lived in California and Michigan and Connecticut before finally settling in New Jersey.
And tell us what you do in the Red Hook terminals. What is the Red Hook terminal?
Red Hook Terminals is a stevedore and marine terminal operator. We work container ships, move cargo all across the country. We have locations in Brooklyn, Port Newark, New Jersey, and Freeport, Texas, and Baltimore, Maryland. What I do there is I oversee all the operations.
And during the pandemic, you had less business, more business? Did you see the effects of the pandemic?
There's certainly effects of the pandemic, especially in the beginning. It's been incredibly challenging. I'd just like to thank all the people I work with, both in management, in the International Longshoremen's Association, the union we work with, for their tireless work, being on the front lines of the pandemic, day after day, nights, weekends, you name it, to make sure that cargo was moving and we kept store shelves stocked.
Now, Griffith, of course, is a great Irish name, but when did your people come over from America, from Ireland? Sorry, they came up many generations ago. We said your great-grandparents came from Ireland?
Yes, my most recent relatives, my great-grandparents came from Cork, but there's also Irish on my mother's side. They come from Belfast. They came at different times. I'm your classic American who's got Irish relatives who came all from the famine up until the early 20th century.
Well, look, tell your mother that from Belfast tonight that we send warm greetings. And thanks for keeping the spirit of Irish America alive.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you for being a recipient of our People's Choice Award of the Irish American Young Leader of the Year. Your certificate hasn't arrived yet, your medal hasn't arrived. Obviously, this is one of the problems with international supply chains. The medals were coming from China. In future, Tom will order the medals from America. I think that we will near shore. I think that's a lesson, isn't it?
Yeah.
From the pandemic. So listen, congratulations. You're the final honoree. Thanks for your patience, and I hope to go out and visit you in Red Hook next time we're there. Good luck. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Slán go fóill. Good night. Good night. Look, folks.
Oh, you're welcome anytime.
Good for
Come
you.
on by.
Take care.
Thank you. Good night.
We have one more job to do. Aer Lingus very kindly said, look, you see the people who go on and pay $9 to support the Irish Echo 40 under 40. We're going to give you 2 return tickets to Ireland, and when it's safe to travel, the person who wins them can use them to visit Ireland again. And you know, you've seen the wonderful work of Tourism Ireland when they say, we're ready, when it's safe to visit again, we're ready with as warm a welcome, with the red carpet and the green carpet to roll out. So I have a box here, and I'm going to take out one winner. So we have a winner of 2 tickets, and I'm going to read out who it is. So it is Rich Brown. So Rich Brown has just won 2 return tickets to Ireland. So congratulations, Rich Brown. We will contact you, and when it's safe to visit again, you have 2 return tickets to Ireland, courtesy of our dear friends in Aer Lingus. Let's thank the sponsors again. Aer Lingus, of course, the Irish American Partnership up in Boston, the Ancient Order of Hibernians, who are also partnering us in the wonderful job of asking the President of the United States, Joe Biden, to appoint a special envoy to Northern Ireland. Benchmark Strategies in Boston, Calico in New York, our dear friend Dan Cremens, NI Bureau, we heard from the director, Andrew Elliott, earlier tonight. I think that we have some beautiful family videos. No, we don't have some beautiful family videos. That's it. Last messages from Danny O'Connell. This is a man that doesn't have enough to do. Mr. O'Connell, great effort from your crew, fabulous production. I want to thank the team in the Irish Echo in New York, Tracy, Madeline, Peter, Ray, and Mary Finch for all the great work they have done. We will publish a supplement next week coming out on the Wednesday, a supplement within the paper and online, featuring all of our beautifully talented 40 honorees, and that will be in the Irish Echo next week. I want to thank everybody for staying strong and steadfast with the Irish Echo during the pandemic, because it was tough for us as well. Brian McCabe says, congratulations, Kieran. I was greatly honoured and duly proud to serve as Chief Brehon of the 2020 Great Irish Fair of the Irish American Building Society. Sarah Marshall says, go Michelle, Cincinnati is behind you. And then final message from Tim Tobin. Congratulations, Michael. Your family is very proud of you, as are we. We're going to keep the theme that we had earlier tonight of Black History Month and the growing diversity of Irish America. You heard Dennis Brownlee earlier on saying 37% of Irish Americans, of African Americans, have some Irish heritage and Irish blood as well, and Irish roots. So let's say good night. It's 1:15 in Belfast. It's early morning. I have to do one more job. I have to be at the airport at 4 o'clock in the morning, so we must sleep on this side. Thank you to the team at NAVAC. Thank you to Conlon McCann for making this a wonderful success. Let's leave tonight. Congratulations to 40 Under 40. We're going to play you out with a young woman called Tulu McKay from Offaly. Good night from us. Thank you for being part of the Irish Echo 40 Under 40. We'll see you in person in Rosie O'Grady's or some other wonderful location in New York next year. We get back to celebrating the greatest talent and the future talent of Irish America, the 40 Under 40 next year. I'm Martin O'Malley of the Irish Echo. Ihoai. Good night.
Understand it's hard to get up in the morning time. It's 9 to 5, you know, in your life. Feeding someone's dreams, which is on the side. I get it, I understand it. Weight on your shoulder, got you on your knees. Air's getting thinner, but it's hard to breathe. It's no surprise that you lasted this long, all because you are enough. You are enough. Love yourself more. You are. Introduce you to someone, and he goes by the name Let's go.
See, they envy that our names in the conversation. I don't need them, man, for no validation. Doing it for clout is an understatement. Them man are doing it for numbers, I'm not being patient. I have to rate my team before they ever rate it. No yes man around me, them man be the fakest. It's when you do the best that man I wanna take it. They never wanna see the vision when you haven't made it. They just wanna see the vision just to come and take it. When you climbing up the ladder, they just wanna shake it. They can never take my crown cause I say I'm the greatest. They can never take me down cause I love to embrace it. I just love my skin is brown and I say I'm the greatest. I just love my skin is brown and I say I'm the